Hello and welcome back to my channel, Cozy Gamer Jessup. And in today's video, we are finally decorating around my house and building like a farmhouse aesthetic. It's not going to be really Halloween themed, but it will be very autumn and fall themed. So if you're looking forward to watch that, stick around. Also, I did post a couple Halloween videos last week, and if you want to catch up on those, the playlist will be linked down below. And alright, let's get into it. And building like a farmhouse aesthetic. It's not going to be really Halloween themed, but it will be very autumn and fall themed. So if you're looking forward to watch that, stick around. Also, I did post a couple Halloween videos last week, and if you want to catch up on those, the playlist will be linked down below. And alright, let's get into it. The first thing I did was pick an area where I wanted my house and farm to be, and it's going to be in the back right corner. I just showed my map, and I'm going to connect a path from the back right corner all the way to resident services. So there's a brick path going all the way up to my house, and that's what I'm doing now. So even though I've done a few builds with this path, I'm still not used to placing a path like this. I'm more used to doing like a more natural dirt path. Like in my previous islands, like all I've used is really dirt paths. So I pretty much just play around with this path for a while and try to get the corner figured out. And it does take a while to get it to look right, but I do go back and fix it and adjust it. Anyways, I have some pretty exciting news. I did start my new job and I don't totally hate it. I mean, it is kind of boring. For privacy reasons, I won't tell you like where I work, but I mean, it's just like a normal job, I guess. I don't really know how to describe it without giving it away. It's just really boring. And I currently am going to be working 4 days a week, so I can have 3 days off and focus on videos. I'm going to try to push out 2 videos a week, but if I can't, I'm going to make sure to do at least one really good one, I guess, because I would rather have one good one and not have 2 like crappy ones or whatever. Also, in the past like couple weeks, like while I've been moving and getting settled in, I've had like a lot more followers and views, and I would just like to say thank you so much if you're new to this channel and you just started subscribing. I really appreciate it. As you can see, my channel is very new, and you know, every video I'm working on getting better at doing voiceovers and recording videos. And if you're looking forward to any type of build, just leave your suggestions down below on what you want to see, and pretty much anything in the comments will be considered. So just let me know. So in my previous clip, I did terraform like this big giant like area, well, like extension to this area. And my plan is half of this area is going to be where my house is, where I just marked it out with the dirt path. And then on the other half, I'm going to have a like maze. Like I wanted to do like a corn maze, but we don't have corn in Animal Crossing, so I was going to use hay, like hay fences or straw fences. And so that's what the next video is going to be. But this video, we're just going to be focusing on just the farm and the farmhouse. So this farm is going to feature like all the vegetables, and I'm just going to make like 2 rows of each vegetable and maybe have extra wheat. So all I have to do now is pick out my staircase, and I'm just going to, you know, get the log one and then place down my house and move it from off the beach. I'm so glad I finally got around to moving my house, because it was kind of annoying having my house on the beach, and it's kind of depressing because it wasn't decorated at all. But now it's going to be all decorated, and I'm going to put a little like workstation on the side of my house, and I'm going to have a little storage shed and crafting table. But I mean, it's just going to be decorative, so it's not really going to be functional. I'm not gonna lie, I was getting kind of tired of how gloomy and rainy it was, so I did time travel to the next day so it'd be nice and sunny out. And the first thing I'm gonna start doing is planting all my crops. I went to Leaf and got a bunch, and I already had some like saved up, in my inventory, and I also had to go to Treasure Islands to get some because Leaf just doesn't have them all at once. Like usually it's like 2 variations, so it's kind of hard to get them all without like just time traveling a lot or using Treasure Islands. So I'm gonna plant all these and I'll come right back after I'm done planting all of them. I'm just gonna line the outside of my farm with this barbed wire fence, and I'm just gonna put it on the sides and the front, and also the back of the farm will also have this fence. Also, if you're ever curious on what codes and paths that I use for all my builds, they are going to be linked down below, and I get all my paths from Pinterest. So all the codes will be on my Pinterest board for Acorn Island, which is this island, and it's just going to have all the codes that I've used. And it also has all of my inspiration for builds that I've made and that I want to make. Also, I know that it's not Halloween anymore, but I still would consider it fall. I know a lot of people think November 1st is the start of the Christmas season, but I'm not really that type of person. So I am going to continue with Acorn Island at least for the next month, and I'm going to try to finish my island this month so that when December comes around, we can start a new island. I'm not exactly sure what theme I want to do. I did talk about having a cat-only island, which is an amazing idea, but I just don't know what decoration style that island should be. But if you have any suggestions on what theme our next island should be, just let me know down below. Also, subscribe if you're not already subscribed so you can watch the rest of my Acorn Island builds, and it's going to be featuring all these autumn, fall, and a little bit of Halloween builds. I really have been procrastinating on making new builds and also like recording videos, and it's mainly because my next video is so time consuming because I need so many items, and I've been ordering, my limit of 5 items a day and time traveling, and it's just so time consuming and tedious. But I'm so glad to be back building, because when you're watching this, I already have my next video already planned out, and it's pretty much all recorded already, and I'm just really excited to work on my island again, because when I was moving I didn't have a lot of time to play or have internet to play. So back to my build, I did make my little workstation that I was talking about earlier, and I'm just adding a little bit of decorations, firewood, to just fill it out a little bit more. Also, I used that little like horse ride, I'm not sure what it's called, but just to pretend that I had a little horse on my farm, and I got that idea from Pinterest, and I think it is so cute, because I wouldn't have ever thought of using that little horse on my farm, but I think it adds a little something to it, I do end up moving my mailbox, not till the end, but I don't know, it was just like so difficult to actually reach my mailbox right there, and I thought it was a good idea, but looking back at it, I don't even know why I moved it there. Yeah, I didn't have time to plant these bushes and have them already grown so I could, place them down and they're already grown. So I did have to just plant them immediately, but at the end I am going to time travel a couple days, so they are going to be grown in our final reveal and tour, so don't worry about that. So anyways, right over here is going to be the entrance to the maze, and this is like the whole left side of this build, other than like what's already built, is going to just be the maze. So that's why I put the arch here, so there's a little walkway for it. I had an idea to place down a little bit more leaf pathing right here, because I wanted to use the well DIY and put a little well here, because I have a farm, I'm gonna need water for all my crops, so I felt like a well would just fit right in. I really am liking this firewood DIY item because it kind of looks like, you know, it's wood. So like all the wood that I use to craft things, since I am the prime builder on this island. None of my villagers have contributed at all to build anything on this island. It's all me. So it just would make sense that I have a crafting table and all that by my house. And of course I am the farmer of this island. So it really just makes sense that I have the biggest house and like biggest area around my house also. So in the back of this build, it's just going to be mainly trees and like some glow moss or glow weeds and also some mushroom items. And it's pretty much just going to be like a foresty, like forest back there. It's just going to be trees, flowers, weeds, and a couple like decorations. While looking on Pinterest for inspiration for this build, I was trying to make it look like very dense, like in trees. Like I didn't even want you to be able to like look through them and see the sky. Like I wanted so many trees that you wouldn't be able to walk in the back. But it ended up I didn't make this like piece of land big enough or like wide enough to accommodate all the trees. So I won't be able to get the desired look that I originally wanted, but I still think it came out pretty well because I added some decorations like decayed trees and that big vine item, and I think it really brought it together and filled out the area. Same with I added the wood fence like all around the back of my build, like just lining the whole back of it, so it just like blocked off some of the view back there, and I think that really helped. So right now I'm pretty much adding my finishing touches, which is always a bunch of flowers, a bunch of weeds. Well, sometimes I don't use weeds, but the glowing moss looks really cool, especially when you walk over it because it like sparkles a little bit. And this is where I'm adding more trees in the back because I wanted to fit as many as I could. And you know, like I said before, I didn't get as many as I wanted, but I'm still adding more flowers, adding the moss. And I also added a few mushroom items too to light up in the back just for fun. So I will be updating my dream address really soon, probably in the next video. So if you do want to tour my island like anytime that you want to, I'm gonna have the dream address ready for you soon. I'm gonna update it. You know, of course my island isn't finished, but I do have quite a few areas that are like finished and decorated that you might be interested in looking at and using for inspiration. So stay tuned for that. With all that being said, I am gonna time travel and we are gonna tour this build. I'm gonna go a couple days in the future to make sure all my trees and whatever else needs to be grown is grown for our tour, and I'm gonna walk you through it. So this is my beautiful farmhouse build, and it's pretty dark out right now. It's kind of night, but that's how I wanted it, so the lights would be shining. And as you can see, all my plants have grown in, and I think this build came out really good. And thank you so much for watching this video, and leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you aren't already, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!